chosen one. This isn't background noise. You were meant to hear this right now. You're sitting there, maybe curled up in a quiet room. The rest of the world is asleep. But your mind isn't. You didn't plan to find this video. It just showed up. YouTube rolled it in like a whisper, not a scream, not a search, a nudge. And somehow, it feels personal. You've been carrying something. Maybe it's heavy. Maybe it's quiet. Maybe you've run out of words for it. But something in you knows this isn't just another video. This moment reminds me of Samuel, a young boy, lying in the dark, thinking he's hearing things. But it wasn't just noise. It was God calling him by name, over and over, until he finally said, "Speak. Lord, your servant is listening." That's what this is. A holy interruption. You didn't miss it. You didn't imagine it. You're not here by accident. This moment was scheduled not by algorithm, but by grace. What you're about to hear isn't hype. It's not for everyone. But if your heart is tired, if your soul is stretched thin, if you've been asking God for a sign, or just a small reason to hope again, then lean in, because this is that moment, and it's not a sermon. It's not a speech. It's a message, sealed in heaven, delivered straight to you for such a time as this. And heaven has been watching not from a distance, but from within your tears. You might feel like no one really sees what you're walking through, like your pain has become invisible. You've gotten so good at holding it together. Even the people closest to you have no idea how close you've come to breaking. But God knows. Psalm 35 says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." That verse isn't poetic comfort, it's a promise. And God never breaks a promise. Think about Hagar. She ran into the wilderness, pregnant, afraid, rejected. She didn't cry out for help. She just sat down by a spring and wept. But God found her. He didn't just see a runaway. He called her by name. That's what he's doing with you. He sees the mother standing in the kitchen long after the kids are asleep, hands resting on the edge of the sink, whispering prayers no one hears. He sees the man sitting behind the wheel, engine off, staring ahead and saying nothing because he doesn't even know where to begin. He sees the one who stopped praying with words and started praying with silence. You've never been out of his sight, not once. And if it feels like your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, if it feels like the night will never break, you need to know this. God doesn't just watch. He counts every tear, every pause, every sigh. Heaven has been watching, and your morning is closer than you think. You got used to surviving, but you forgot what peace felt like. Some people live through chaos for so long. Even silence makes them nervous, like a soldier home from war, jumping at every sound, not because danger is near, but because danger became normal. You've been carrying stress like armor, not because you're strong, but because you had no choice. It wasn't always like this. You used to believe in miracles. You used to pray with expectation. But now you just pray for peace. Not breakthrough, just a little rest. I think of the woman who once asked God for big things: healing, restoration, joy, now. She just asks to make it through the week without breaking down in front of her kids. And I think of Jobs. A man who lost everything: family, friends, health, even his sense of God's voice. The silence after loss was louder than the pain itself. Even his friends couldn't help. They tried to fix him with words he didn't need. That might be where you are right now, stuck in the in-between, the ache after loss. But before healing, the numb place where survival becomes routine. But hear me, silence doesn't mean you've been abandoned. Sometimes, silence is the sacred pause before resurrection. The space between Friday's grief and Sunday's glory. And while you may feel forgotten, heaven hasn't moved. The wind may be still, the sky may be quiet, but something is shifting beneath it all, and peace, real peace, is on its way back to you. You kept walking when quitting would have made more sense. There were easier options: giving up, shutting down, telling God, "I'm done." But you didn't. You kept moving forward, even if it was slow, even if no one saw it. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." You didn't give up. You're like the janitor who shows up at church every Saturday, cleaning pews no one notices, no spotlight, no applause, just quiet faithfulness. Or the single mom who still tithes and still prays, even when her grocery list is longer than her bank balance. She's not asking for luxury just enough, and still, she shows up. That's you. You've learned how to keep going without clapping, without cheers. Your obedience didn't come from being seen, it came from being anchored. You don't need a platform. You're not chasing likes. You're not serving to be noticed. You're serving because you love. And that matters. Heaven sees what earth overlooks. The quiet yes whispered on tired days. The small prayers said through clenched teeth. The tears wiped away before anyone else walked in the room. Faithfulness in silence speaks louder than shouting in the crowd. And one day, maybe sooner than you think, that harvest you forgot you planted is going to break through the soil. Don't stop now. You're closer than you know. Now the page is already turning. Can you feel the shift? You may not feel ready. You might still be healing, still catching your breath from the last battle. But seasons don't wait for your permission. When God says it's time, it's time. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? That means it's already in motion. It's not coming someday, it's already begun." Maybe you've been living in the in-between, waiting, wondering. Then one phone call changes everything. A job offer you weren't expecting. Or the doctor walks in with a report that you didn't dare hope for, and suddenly, the weight you've been carrying starts to lift. That's how it works with God. He moves suddenly, but never randomly. And when the new season comes, it might not look like what you lost. It won't be a replica. It'll be a resurrection. Something stronger, deeper, wiser. Something that couldn't have existed unless you walked through what you did. So don't miss it because you're looking backward. Don't resist it just because it feels unfamiliar. You're not going back to what was. You're stepping into what's next. And if it feels like the ground is shifting under your feet, that's because it is. The old is ending. The news is already here, and it's better than you imagined. You didn't imagine it. This is your confirmation. Maybe recently you whispered, "God, if I'm still in your plan, if you haven't forgotten me, just show me." You weren't asking for a miracle, just a quiet reminder. You're not the only one who's asked. Gideon did too. He needed reassurance. Twice he asked for a sign. And God didn't scold him. He answered because he understands how heavy waiting can feel. Think back. That moment of peace during a song, that verse that hit different, that unexpected stillness that wasn't emotion, that was God. He doesn't dangle hope to mess with your heart. If he started something with you, he plans to finish it. So no, you're not crazy. You're not making things up. And you didn't miss your chance. That stirring in your spirit, it still matters. That dream you put on the shelf, it's still alive. God hasn't changed his mind. Even if everything feels uncertain, he hasn't moved. He's steady. He's speaking. And right now, at this moment, he's answering you. This is your confirmation. What's coming won't crawl, it'll arrive running. You've been waiting, praying, wondering if anything is moving. It feels like you're stuck while everyone else moves ahead. But silence doesn't mean God is still. He's been working behind the scenes. Think of Joseph, 13 years forgotten in prison. Then, in one day, he went from a cell to the palace. He didn't climb his way up. God lifted him. That's how quickly things can shift. I know someone who was unemployed for 2 years. No calls, no open doors. Then, suddenly 3 offers in 1 week. It wasn't luck. It was timing. Because delay isn't denial. Sometimes it's preparation. God is positioning people, rearranging things, closing wrong doors. So when the right moment comes, it won't be slow, it'll be sudden. You'll look back and see how every delay had purpose. Every no was protection. Every long wait was building something in you. And when it hits, it won't drip in slowly, it'll flood. So get ready. Your name is being spoken in places you haven't stepped into yet. Opportunities are being prepared for you. They're not crawling toward you. They're running. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. It might not feel that way yet. Grief clouds everything. Pain hangs on longer than you thought it would. But healing isn't forgetting, it's transforming. Isaiah 61:3 says, "To give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning." God doesn't erase your past. He honors it. He takes what's shattered and makes it shine, like kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold. The cracks stay visible, but now they're the most beautiful part. That's what God does with your life. You're not being restored to your old self. You're being remade with purpose running through the scars. I think of a mother who lost her child. The pain never disappeared. But over time, she began to sit with other grieving moms. Not to fix them, just to be there. To say, "You're not alone." Her sorrow became compassion. Her loss became a light. That's healing. Not going back to what was, but moving into what can be. You're not beyond repair. You're in process. And when the rebuilding is finished, you'll carry beauty right where the ashes used to be. You're not who the pain said you are. Yes, the past is real, the choices, the regrets, the heartbreak. But it's not the whole story. And it's not your identity. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, to give you hope and a future." That means God sees more than your history. He sees what He's still building. I've watched a man who once battled addiction now pray over others, finding freedom. I've seen a woman rise from a broken marriage to help couples find healing. Not in spite of their pain, but through it. Your past is a chapter, not your title. It's a part of your testimony. But it's not the end of the story. God takes the pieces we wish we could erase and turns them into purpose. He redeems the pain and uses it to lift others. So stop replaying the worst moments. Stop letting shame write about your future. You're not the broken version. You're becoming. You're the healing. The story is still being written, and God hasn't put the pen down. This isn't restoration, this is resurrection. Restoration gives you back what you lost. Resurrection brings something entirely new, something that couldn't exist without the loss. That's what God is doing to you. You may have prayed for life to return to what it was. But what's coming isn't a rewind. It's a rebuild, not a return, a resurrection. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it, and it won't look like the past?" That's the point. There's a woman I know who survived cancer. She prayed. She endured. She healed. But the miracle didn't end with healing. It began a mission. Now she spends her days with others in treatment, sitting beside them, praying, listening. She shows up not out of duty, but because she knows the pain. Her purpose came from the very thing that tried to destroy her. That's resurrection. God takes what was meant to bury you and uses it to bless others. He writes beauty out of ashes, stories out of graves. And when this season ends, you won't come out the same. You'll be stronger, deeper, changed in the best way. You weren't meant to stay broken. You were meant to rise, and you're already rising. Don't just wait for it. Prepare for it. When you sense God is about to move, don't sit still, lean in. There's a difference between hoping and getting ready. Jesus told a parable about 10 virgins waiting for the bridegroom. They all believed. They all showed up. But only 5 brought extra oil, and only 5 were ready when the door opened. The rest missed it. Not because they didn't care, but because they weren't prepared. So what about you? Sometimes faith looks like action, like building the ark before the first drop of rain, like updating your resume before the phone rings, like clearing space because you believe God will fill it. Faith isn't passive. It's packing your bags even when you don't see the flight yet. It's oil in your lamp before midnight comes. So if you felt change stirring, don't just wait. Move, plan, pray bold, make room, because when the shift comes, it'll move fast. And the ones who are ready, they won't scramble to catch up. They'll be the first to walk through the open door. This is not the end. It's just the edge of something new. You've walked through fire. You've carried more than most people know. But you didn't give up. You didn't walk away. And that matters. You may feel worn down. You may wonder if you missed your moment. But as long as you have breath, God still has purpose. Deuteronomy 31:6 says, "He will never leave you nor forsake you." That means right now, in this very moment, you're not alone. You might not see him. You might not feel anything. But there are angels surrounding you. There is strength holding you steady. There is grace covering ground you haven't even stepped into yet. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not too late. Heaven has not gone silent. And your story hasn't stalled, it's just shifting. So take the next breath. Take the next step. Not because it's easy, but because God is still with you. You're standing at the edge of something new, and no, you don't have all the answers, but you don't need them. You just need to move forward. One step, one prayer, one act of faith at a time. This is not your final chapter. It's a new beginning, and you're not walking into it alone.